ECI is presented by Champion Seed. That's one of the fastest growing independent seed companies in the country. Champion Seed has the freedom to select from a wide range of genetic platforms and trait packages, matching it right down to the county level. We are champions of quality corn and soybean traits, quality growing seasons, and quality people to help you along the way. From our corn seeds and our soybean seeds to our people and partners, we only champion the best. Visit plantchampion.com to learn more and find your local dealer. Now is the time if you're thinking about your 2026 planting options. Make sure to check out Champion Seed and make sure to tell them that ECI sent you. I'm Bibster. We got Randy up here. He's going to be doing a little help up here on the mic. Do a little local stuff we got going on. Again, thanks for coming out. We'll talk more as we go. Looks like first tractor's out there, as you can see. Still running the cab on. It got tinted out.
Too bad. Who's leading the points in this class?
Making me do science and math already on the first tractor.
We'll have to ask the secretary.
Yeah, let's ask that. That'll work better. I know some of the points runnings, but I think Bill Paul is Joe Miguel's in the lead. And he's in the lead by enough points that he just has to not screw up. I don't have it on.
So in other words, he's got a hook.
Yeah, he's got to make good passes. The thing about it, we'll talk about it a little more as these tractors come out of the pace. To win, you get 60 points, then it's 2 points less per position back. So sometimes these classes where there's like 7, 8 tractors, there's only going to be a 14-point split if you get first to last place, if you've got that many points ahead. Joe Miguel's in the lead with 404 points, and then Nolan Frazier, we'll see a little bit later, the Generation 2 Massey Ferguson. We got some Massey Ferguson fans in the house. He's back at 392, so again, it's still possible by points, but it's going to be tough. Here we go. Bill Paul in the cab, John Deere.
Bill Ball on the high potential. John Deere 4055. It's 324 and 78, 324.78 at 9.4 miles per hour. This is our 13,000 pound, 10 mile per hour farm stock tractors here at our first class of Readlyn Chipola Truck and Tractor Pull in Chipola, Iowa with the East Central Iowa Puller Association. My name is Morgan Schulte. This is Moose Tractor Pulling Videos. 6 action-packed classes for you tonight in memory of Brian Buckles.
They are both. That's true.
Our next tractor up is 1066. The points leader Jordan Miguel on a tractor calls the night shift. Jordan goes 341.85, 341.85 at 9.6 miles per hour.
Great local spot. We'll talk a little bit about
The beer cold over there now.
I appreciate that.
That's a cooler, not one you smoke.
There you go. All right, up next, I think he's got some fans in the crowd. Landon Coleman in the bleeding green machine. He's just down the road in Readlyn, Iowa. Last year's point champion. He's sitting second.
Next up, your hometown tractor.
He's got to,
Readlyn, Iowa, Landon Coleman on the John Deere he calls the Bleeding Green.
He's a local Tripoli, Readlyn Polar Committee man also helping out today.
Three 39.32, 339.32 at 9.6 miles per hour for Landon Coleman on the Bleeding Green.
Nolan Fisher in the Generation 2, he's the one that's 12 points back. You got some Massey Ferguson fans out there? Got the big Perkins V8 engine in this thing. It's going to sound a little different.
How many remember the Floyd Warren Jubilee on Sunday? You're too young for that.
I'm way too young for this.
Got this little song, Master V. Ferguson, Johnny Nevermore.
This class, for those wanting to get 13,000 pounds, he's the maximum we can weigh. They also do not run cut tires. You got to run an egg-style tire. Now, you can have a varying degree of worn-out tire. Obviously, you know, it's whoopsie, it's a little worn out. It's going to be a little bit better, closer to a cut. They're limited on RPM.
Next up on a Massey Ferguson 1155, Nolan Frazier on a tractor calls Gen 2.
You're talking 600-700 horsepower, probably needs with horsepower before the end of the night. Nolan's got the green light. Here we go, folks. Massey Ferguson fans, make a little noise.
we got Tripoli selling beer down there. That's 50-50. You can buy 50-50. One of the pies. Buy which one. Or orange plate for $100. Gotta have beer tickets to get the beer, though. Gotta have the beer tickets for about
308 and 46, 308.46 and 9.2 miles per hour for Nolan Frazier.
All right, folks. Blacked out, beautiful, 1466. Trying to send that point a little bit farther. What are you guys doing? You can't. Are you just buying each other's beer? That doesn't work out.
I see one of them.
Next up, I do not recognize this driver. It's 1066. It's a one-time hook.
What?
319 and 76, 319.76 and 9.5 miles per hour for the 1066.
He's got a 4-1. Victoria's Weissman out here with our 7700 360 hot stop class, putting on some good pulls, and kind of a new division of that where we're letting them run naturally aspirated in that class. All right, last in the class. He's all the way from North Dakota, Valley City, North Dakota. Probably already winter up there, that's why he's down here.
Next up, Tony Cooley out of Valley City, North Dakota on a 766 International. He calls Black Smoke Till I'm Broke.
I think so, yes. runners right here, but I can do the math already. It looks like Jordan Miguel out of Lancaster. He's going to take that first one all the way back up to the top. So 3:41.85. Second place is going to be
3:24 and 63, 3:24.63 at 9.3 miles per hour. For Tony Cooley, Jordan Miguel is going to take your win. Our next class up, 6,200-pound Superstock two-wheel drive trucks.
Bill Ball, he goes in that. Four-wheel drive truck. They got to be stop lit. They got to be two-wheel drive with DOT tires all around. I believe 485 cubic inches is all they're allowed. Brad Kelly, Doug Newton, out of Waverly, Iowa. It's a special delivery. It's a 1936 Ford. Still Ford powered with a four-door boat.
First hook up on our Superstock two-wheel drive truck class, Brad Telling, who's in a 1936 Ford out of Waverly, Iowa, calls it special delivery.
You can see back there on that equalizer sled, we'll do a little sled science. They're taking out a weight there, that's going to weigh 2,000 pounds. That's going to make that hand, or that box, what we call that part, a little bit lighter. Allows these trucks that are a lot lighter and having a lot smaller tires to be able to get up the boogie. Now it changes a lot of things. It matters how many weights you have in there. It'll also matter where you place the weights. You can actually see they pull the weight out of the back of the box, and they're going to put it there on the front. That'll change how the tractors are allowed, or the trucks are allowed to hook up off the back. We'll get this thing all squared away. He's going to be ready to go. Again, if you got little ones, these are going to be a little noisy. Tell you what we wouldn't have done before that stuff was out there. You've been out there with an end loader trying not to run to the side of the sled. Get a little sideways there. Looks like they pulled another one out. That's there in the back. This one's going to come. Oh, it's going to come all the way out. Yep. Box is going back under the sled, under the cab there. They can also adjust. So here's something they can adjust. They can adjust where that box starts. They can adjust how fast that box moves forward. They can adjust the kind of pressure.
There's approximately 6 to 7 trucks in this class. After that, we'll move into our 9,500-pound 4.1 limited pro stock class.
Off of the ground, so all the way to 21,000 actual pounds on the man itself, trying to stop the truck tractor in the front. As you can see, that's what Sharon is doing right now, doing an adjustment on, I believe, where one of the air valves are that sets one of the trips for the airbag system.
Well, Kyle, I remember when I was a young man, there would be guys sitting on cement blocks. You think they could run quick enough and get on the stone bolt or not?
I don't believe they can. We did that a couple years ago down there at Davenport, one of our first pulls of the year. They had one of those sleds out there. The first one, well, me and some of the other big fellas, we got near the end and didn't stop. So the second time the tractor went down, they said, the big boys in the front. And that's what we did. And it was the only time I ever got picked first for sport. So that was good. Looks like we got them all ready to rock and roll. Let's tighten up the chain. We've got the green lights, green flag. Oh, too close to the air.
Massman Sr. up next on the Chevrolet Club's the American Express.
All right, we'll get it backed up there.
Couldn't get past one.
The 50-50.
I signed the waiver.
Support
I'm
your
taking that
local
chance.
volunteer fire department. Again, when you have an issue, they're the ones you want to call. So support often, support regularly, because they're out there volunteering to make sure that when you have a bad day, you don't have a worse day. All right, we got that Chevy backed up to the sled. We'll get them hooked up, ready to rock and roll down the track. I'm going to make a guess. I bet he's going to
Here we go, Leo Massman Sr., the American Express.
All right, old Leo, he's been pulling a long time with his truck.
324 and 94, 324.94 for Leo Massman.
He's got a little respect, I think.
So everyone has the opportunity to place it where they want. Up next, Terry Patterson. He's out of Elizabeth, Illinois. Into one gear faster. Folks, you know what this is? It's a Ford Ranger.
Next up on a Ford Ranger of Elizabeth, Illinois, Terry Patterson. He calls it one gear faster.
Right now, he's got 224. And Eric Schmidt, you'll see how a little later back pensions is back.
320 and 66, 320.66 for Terry Patterson.
In the truck he calls the Summer Mistress. I own it, I say it right? I don't know. Listen, I'm from Listen. If anyone's ever been to Eastern Iowa, you would know my pronunciation of anything west of the wit might be tough. Here goes a beautiful Chevrolet truck. He's sitting back there and points a little bit. The Summer Mistress. And these trucks are allowed to have a weight bar up front, so we'll have that weighted up a little bit, hoping to try and get that front end off the ground. All of the two-wheel drive vehicles, they're two-wheel drive. Their goal is to get that front end 12 to 18 inches off the ground so they can fully weight transfer all of the weight of the vehicle onto their tires. If the front end stays down, well then you basically threw half your weight away and you're not going to do so well. If the front end goes so high you're just looking at the boom, well then it's not gonna be good either because your hitch is gonna
Next up, Steve Lanto on a GMC. He calls the Summer Mistress.
Their balance right. 12 to 18 inches, floating the front tires and sending it full send down the track and aiming clearly at our signboard.
.323 and 67, 323.67 for Steve Lanto.
If you're looking to put your truck in track right now it's going to be tough because Leo's back there. It's physically impossible for him to get 6 places ahead of him. Oh, excuse me. This is Larry Boggs out of Charles City in Blue Thunder.
Been pulling that pickup a long, long time, Kyle.
I apologize. Eric Smith, you're up next out of Charles City. Blue Thunder something now, DMC. It's a C20, but I don't think it's got many C20 parts left.
Next up, Larry Bogus on GMC calls Blue Thunder.
Momentum game. The faster you
315.01, 315.01 for Larry Bogus.
drives to come out, and there's always a good group of them coming out to play. You bet.
Next up is a truck relatively close to home from Charles City, Iowa, only about 45 minutes northwest of here. Eric Schmidt on a truck he calls Bad Intentions, the Chevrolet.
Sponsors here, Marvin Jitsa Living as a family-owned business and operated by two mechanic companies in the city of New Hampton, Iowa, that has been in operation for 35 years. With a staff of 5 mechanics on hand for all your tractor, automotive, and small engine needs. Make sure to check them out on marvinsenserepair.com for more information. Bad Intentions up the sled, ready to rock and roll. Here we go. Got a couple trucks left in this class. Here we go, green light.
30206 now. 23.5. Had a little trouble getting out of the gate. Equalizer. Forcing him to the stop.
Gotta put him back in the running a little bit. Doesn't want to come out. About a 1978-79 body style, one of the more desirable body styles.
302.06, 302.06 for Eric Schmidt.
Ford fans will call this one the have a little trouble getting off the line. And justification for Nate was not his fault. The axle broke, and that's why they being thrown away. So they got it back together. Ford fans, here comes the Plum Crazy. A lot of local last bullet, trying to run down the current leader of Brad. He went out there in the first pass.
Last truck up, Boston Kramer on a Ford. He calls it Plum Crazy.
They've all eaten about the same thing down the middle of the front. Next, we got one of our bigger classes, higher horsepower, big smoke, big speed. Folks, hold on to your hats. Super Farms coming up next after this truck. Don't go anywhere. Get ready to rock and roll. For that.
271 and 62, 271.62 for Austin Kramer. That was our last took in our two-wheel drive truck class.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. It's not super far. It is 2,500 horsepower, 4.1-inch turbo, 640 cubic inches of good time. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for your 4-1 limited pro stocks right here in Tripoli, Iowa. They're going to make us a noise.
Our next class up, 9,500 pound, 4.1 limited pro stock tractors. 9 tractors will be running in this class tonight.
Yep. Don't forget to, I want to put another plug in the boys.
If you're just joining us, this is Moose Tractor Pulling Videos live at the Readlyn Tripoli Truck and Tractor Pull in Tripoli, Iowa at the East Central Iowa Pullers Association. We have completed our farm stock tractors and our super stock two-wheel drive trucks. Here yet to go, 4-1 limited pro stocks, super farms, 85 limited pro stocks, and 2 active farm tractors. And ECI will conclude their season tomorrow night at the ECIPA Championships up at the North Iowa Nationals track in Rockwell, Iowa, at the Chamber Acres. They bring all 13 classes there, plus Jamie Bush's modified 4-wheel drive truck shootout class. 2 tracks. Show starts at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night up in Rockwell, Iowa. Don't miss it.
Septic problems, that's not fun for you to do. Give them a call at 319-332-2004 to schedule service today. Eastern Iowa Septic, the Septic Pro. Again, that's not anything that's fun to do. It's zero fun. Give them a call. Tell them ECI sent you. 9,500. We're going to throw in a little music in the house.
Dickie and I are going to dance now.
I don't think so. I think Duke at the 100-foot mark is going to have an issue with that. And I've seen Duke. He's a scary man with a scary plan. We're going to...
You want to dance?
Not the song you want to hear when you're wandering through the woods. Time to run.
Now we got you all exercised.
We're looking at your cousin differently. All right, here we go. 4.1, 4,500, 9,500 limited pro stock. Listen. Ambit Dyno Service is an engine dyno service for all your tuning needs. We're going to see a little bit of Ambit Dyno Service in this next class. And testing needs for all types of diesel engines, we offer the best. And the most accurate testing on engines ranging from 100 horsepower to, get this, 3,000 horsepower. We talked about it. This class is 2,500 on their own. They provide quick and easy hookups and state-of-the-art testing to know exactly how your engine is performing. We also provide a full range of performance parts and pulling tractors, including billet pistons and sleeves, billet connecting rods, cylinder heads, all classes, billet cams, billet crankshafts, custom headers and intakes for all applications, and they offer a full line of turbochargers and complete fuel systems for all classes, from farm stock to super stock. And they can sell complete running engines for all classes. Located in Farley, Iowa, the pro stock capital of Iowa. Find them on Facebook or give them a call at 563-744-3424. Sorry. Again, we talked about it, and Amos, you can do a quick math equation. You give them money, they give you horsepower. It's a quick change.
All right, the next interlude, we're going to do the chicken dance, so get loosened up.
All right, up first. Once we get these classes ready, like I said, we got a little bit of, we're going to definitely add some weight to it. Do a little bit of sled work down there. They got it up on the side. Now this class, we are going to be actually measuring it with the laser. Because see, normally when these sleds go down the track, the tire is moving. As the tire rolls, that's your distance from the starting spot to where they stop. Well, this class, the way it's going to be set up, there's a good chance the back tires are going to be off the ground by the time they get to the, basically the sign. And when they get down there, it's going to be a little tough to know how far the wheels went when the wheels aren't touching the ground anymore. So we'll be using the fancy laser. So that's why you won't see a distance down there. That's why even though we can see a distance up here, we won't say it until we get it over the radio. So it will be a second for us to get it. I requested sharks with lasers on their heads, but they said that was out of the budget.
Hey, in this class, we got two locals here, Bill Pegama and Nate Kramer, and I think Bill might be leading the points at this time.
Currently, yes, he's in the lead second place. He's another tractor. He's gonna have a different driver tonight. Who's that? Oh, hold on. Is that you? One of us. Either way, he's gonna have a different driver tonight. So Borwald's gonna be driving the Red Revolver. They're very tight points. It'll be decided again, like all of our classes, the next 2 days. Rockwell, Iowa is where we're going to be finishing up the championship tomorrow night. Show starts at 6 o'clock. It's not too far down the road. Make the trip over. Again, come out in the afternoon, watch the garden tractor pull, blaze down the track at 10 miles an hour. It'll be fun.
You bet, it's only an hour away.
It's only an hour away. It's good to know. Is it you? Is that you? Okay. You have to back up back here. We got 9 tractors in the class. This is our tie for our biggest class up here. So talk about people wanting to come and support the great pole you guys have right here in Tripoli, Iowa. Steve Bosman, he's out of Worthington, Minnesota. He's in a little John Deere 6030, the only tractor that when it was tested in Nebraska, they said if it's any bigger, we're gonna have to call it a tank. And it's John Deere 6030, he calls it the special edition. He's up first, he'll be our test hook with 9 in the class. Unless something drastically happens weird, I'm guessing he's going to be taking this hook.
Well, they got the sprayer up just a little bit in case they shoot by it there.
Oh, that's true. He can get up and he can hide in track. We have trucks that have this much horsepower, but we don't have them with us tonight. Our Supermod 2-wheel drives that will just blow every window apart in like the Tri-County area.
Well, 4020 only came out with 40 or 90 horse out of the factory.
A 6030 had a little more, quite a bit more than that, but not 2,500 more.
There's a lot of deers under that hood.
Absolutely, you got a lot of John Deeres have really become popular in the pro stock and the limited pro stock classes. Their engine geometry seems to work out. Basically, that's what it comes down to. When these engines were designed in the 60s, they didn't know that it was going to be the perfect geometry for making 2,500 horsepower, but by golly, they did, so we appreciate that about it. Steve will get ready to rock and roll. Again, folks, we're going to see speeds north of 30 miles an hour, so get ready. 358.51.
358 and 51, 358.51 for Steve Bausma.
Minnesota up next.
Don't forget, if you're getting hungry, we got all kinds of food here. They're going to cook till they run out. We got Bremer County cattle, and we got Bremer County pork producers. We got ice cream, and we got hot dog smokehouse. And I'll tell you what, now that smells good. We can smell it when we're looking.
Might take a trip down there myself. Do they do DoorDash? Can we DoorDash them up here?
I'll give them a call.
All right, another John Deere. John Deere fans, you got a pretty good chance in this class. Quite a few John Deeres, but don't worry, we do have some IHs in the house with us tonight. Game changer again, comes all the way out of Council Bluffs. Normally, I believe, pulls with the Outlaw Series. Making the trip over here to play with ECI a little bit when we get a little bit closer to their territory. Getting some of the safety stuff. They wear the neck brace. They got to have a full racing suit, racing helmet, gloves, and the 5-point harness inside the roll cage, all the safety things, as well as a ton of safety stuff under the hood.
There we go, Keith Sealer in the game changer.
Green light, green flag, green tractor. Randy, here we go.
You bet.
He's out of Worthington, Minnesota as well. He's in the limited edition John Deere 44,000. Absolutely. To the right, I think a lot of it comes down to getting that speed and able to kind of push through that spot when the track was pulling them over.
Well, we may need to raise the move
363 and 78, 363.78 for Keith Sealer in the game changer.
We didn't know we were going to go to a asphalt pull today, but apparently we are. You ever been to one of those, Randy, where they take them, you go up to, they do a lot of them up in Wisconsin. They close down Main Street, and they have the antique tractor pullers right down the middle of the road.
That's when they want to fix the road first, right?
That's true. We'll smooth the road out. They put on the band of the sled.
The next tractor up, also out of Worthington, Minnesota, will be Mike Bausma, brother of Steve, on the tractor he calls Limited Edition.
Special edition down the track, John Deere 44,000. They call it that. Again, back in the day when John Deere made the 4020, they were trying to come out with a little more of an economical model. So the 4000 came out and they stripped some of the frills. I mean, again, we talk nowadays what tractors have with the heated seats, the cooling seats, and the AC, and the 17 TVs, so you can watch Netflix while going down the track. And they were like, you only have one hydraulic.
Don't forget the refrigerator.
Yeah, don't forget, yeah. Got the kitchen sink next to it.
Yeah, I helped pick him out a little bit. That thing's got that C-point feel. That thing feels pretty good. Rub your back, rub your bottom.
Don't forget, ECI, the Boston's Poland, it's kind of, they were a big part of it, of becoming, Champion Seat becoming one of our main sponsors. They were up there a couple of years ago to pull Boston's, they were using Champion Seat, brought Larry along and said, hey, check out these guys, and they said, we like them too, so Champion Seat came on board, they gave us that beautiful sign-up trailer we have down there. So again, if you are wondering about next year, maybe thinking about changing up your seat program, check out plantchampion.com. Give them a call now. Get ready for 2026. Green lights, green tractor. Here we go. Coolman up next. He's out of Dunkerton, Iowa. He's in a
Didn't quite hear the distance quite clearly. I think he said 340 and 38. I think Mike will be sitting in third place right now. Next up, Dunkerton, Iowa, on a John Deere 6250R will be Marty Coolman.
Marty Coolman out of Dunkerton. He's in a John Deere. We got some samples of the rolling ice cream. Oh, I can have a little. John Deere. I got some of this old ice cream they just delivered up here. It looks very good. You want the link? So here's the deal. I'm in a truck all day tomorrow with one of our pullers, and I'm slightly lactose intolerant. So for the sake of all the ECI staff, I'm going to pass. But it does look delicious. Let's try it. All right, here comes Marty Coolman out of Dunkerton, Iowa. We see him quite a few times this year. Got the green light, he's ready to rock and roll. 7:57. So 15 minutes until we draw. If you want to get a Hammond. He's in the just passing through. It's an MX 170 IH fans. Here you go. You got a couple chances at this one. This is a new build this year. They've had it out a couple times, so they're trying to get everything squared away. It's Hammond. I apologize. Not Hammond.
301 and 29, 301.29 for Marty Coolman. Next up, Farley, Iowa, Ron Ament on a case H. He calls just passing through.
Now, obviously, having a dyno service, they can run it on the dyno all day long, but a dyno is not what you pull in truck and tractor pulling. You pull the equalizer sled or some kind of a weight transfer machine. So the only way to really get out there and see what it's going to do is to get it out on the track. So Ron's going to come up here. We'll see what he's able to do. Hopefully makes a good clean pass. They've been working on it a bunch. They've had a little bit of a couple of hiccups, but like I said, when you got a new build out there, it's to be expected to have it, it's hard to get that thing to go on the track beautifully the first time. We got some IH fans in the house. IH fans, we got one. One down, two, three. We got a few. Randy's getting all announcer up here. All right, IH fans, you got a couple opportunities in the class. Here's your first one. Here comes Ron. Plenty of power there. Short of the pack there. And he was sleeping down there. But they got that thing down the track, got it up on full power. They were having issues with knocking it out of time when they would get it on full shoot flow. So to get that thing down the track like they were able to, they're gonna get some great data. One of the things the tractor builders really rely on is some kind of a data device. They'll have data trackers that'll basically report the path. They can go back, look at the laptop out, they can see what the different order was doing. That pass is the note that we love it. of our other trades and conferences at ECI. It's DJ Repair 24 hours only. DJ Repair 24 hours only.
279.36, 279.36 for Ron Ament. Next up, Brian Miller of Moraine, Iowa on a 10.660. He calls the Diggin' Bone.
Big or small, in a timely manner.
And Ron Ament was actually a light pro stock. He was a light pro stock running at 9,000 pounds. It's a new build for him.
Auto repair, auto body work, welding, and light truck work. We pride ourselves in being the honest, reliable, and professional. So choose us for all of your towing and auto needs. Contact them at djrepairandtowing.com, or if you're out on the road and need a little bit of a tow, call them at 563-927-6749. All right, Diggin' Bones up next. A Black Stripe IH. There's a 1-year option on the 66 series. Dressed them up a little bit. Check for whatever he wants for it, which it's probably more than what, it's definitely more than what I have in my checking account, but that's just Bipster.
You bet, wholesaler right here. All right, on a good maintain. What do you want to give?
You're right, actually, you're right. It's a check. I could just write it. I'm sure it can't outrun
$329.99, $329.99 for Brian Miller.
It's giving me 3 years
Up
of
next,
reliable service.
And folks,
Keith Festeka,
place right now in the
New Hampshire, Iowa on a John Deere he calls Untamed.
Yeah, you could be in 3rd place. I think if you bought it now, I mean, let's be fair here, you could probably work a deal out where you could get.
Excuse me, this is Nate Kramer driving.
You could get his ECI
Nate Kramer.
membership for tomorrow's night's poll, and then you could get the sweet ECI points fund money and pay for next year's membership. Really, folks, the deal. Somebody buy this tractor tonight. Randy will auction it off with a starting bid really high.
Here we go.
I'm gonna go for 139 tonight. What do you think, Bill? 139 tonight? He says yes. I see tickets.
140 and then 140, 135, 130, 125, and then we go 120.
Untamed is the name of the tractor. Again, it's for sale. Bill's he's had this tractor about 3 years, I believe, from my.
After this class is over, we'll move into our 9,300-pound Super Farm tractors.
Bill picked it up.
For all you that have been sticking around, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Moose's Tractor Point videos, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Also follow Champion Seed and East Central Iowa Pullers Association on Facebook, and give Bipster's Repair Shop a follow on YouTube and Facebook as well.
Don't worry, it's for sale. Someone might buy it tonight.
You know, that's what worst letter.
Buy it tonight.
The worst 4-letter word for a woman is steal.
It's on sale. All right, Untamed 3rd points. He's picked up some wins with this. Nate's actually beat beat the boss man a couple times out there. I think there's Bill right now getting a little bit of a couple pointers as they get the chain tightened up on it. Talk about some of the safety stuff they also run. All of these tractors have what we call a guillotine. That shuts the air off to the turbo, so if something goes bad, the sled operator can actually pull a lever, and it'll shut that guillotine right off, bringing that engine to a dramatic stop. The engine will shut off because, again, with no air in, you can't put air out, and it will stop at that point. Essentially, the internal combustion engine is just a giant air compressor, and it'll stop it. So in case anything's getting a little wild, don't not have that happen. So they're hooked up to that. They're also hooked up to the big old chain, ready to rock and roll.
All right, any local fans here for Nate Kramer right here? It's a fireman there in Waterloo. Oh, they're all going honk honk out there. Don't forget you can get some t-shirts in memory of Brad tonight. These green ones are selling $20 a piece at both beer tents. Help yourself there, folks. They're a nice
338 and 43, 338.43 for Nate Kramer in the Untamed. Next up, out of Farley, Iowa, Tim Warwald driving for Bryce Riglis out of Anamosa on his 1466 black stripe he calls Red Revolver. 2 tractors left to go in this class, so we'll move into our super farms.
Sales getting near the end of the year. So go over there, get some merch for ECI in the offseason. You can see Tim kind of squared that sled up a little bit on the left-hand side of the track. Along with it, see what's coming in, how the ground's coming in down there. Or how the dirt's starting to work. Another great sponsor of ECI, Sempico. Sempico offers a wide range of paraffin-based specialty oils that can greatly improve the performance and durability of your engine and equipment. Sempico has been providing its customers with superior lubricants since 1911, guaranteeing no one was alive when Sempico started, around here at least. From trucks, tractors, and heavy equipment to racing engines, Sempico provides people with what they need for maximum performance and perfection. Check them out at sempico.com. All right, IH fans, here we go. Your last chance to get the lead. The Red Revolver driven by Mr. Tim Warwald, ECI president. Doing a little double duty action, pulling before 1 tonight. He normally pulls in our hot farm class. I believe his hot farm tractor is going to be making some super farm passes tonight. He also does a little pro stock pulling with his boss, Jason Brand. All right, here we go, folks. Come on, IH fans, make some noise. speaking of instructors, great. Yeah, you already know you have the weight ticket, and you can just go right to me. So that's good to know. Thanks, Bill, for that.
Our last hook up is our hometown puller, Bill Fingenbaum on a John Deere out of Tripoli, Iowa. Calls it Instigator. Last hook in our 4-1 Limited Pro Stock class.
All right, we'll get our track maintenance sleds up, or track maintenance crew out of the way. And you can see that first, that's the kind of helps level the track out a little bit. You can also keep it with a little moisture down, maybe on a dry, dusty day. They can't put water down, we're not spraying any water right now. But that's going to help level the track out. You can up the back here behind the cap. Exact same thing for every track. Trying to get every track of carrying similar tracks as trying to level the playing field a little bit.
319 and 44, 319.44 for Tim Vorwald on the Red Revolver.
See it over there. Got Digi on the track. Lightning up. He's ready. Enemy here.
Keith Seidler was the second hook in our 4-1 class at 363 and 78, and he still holds on to lead with one tractor left to go. Let's see if the hometown boy can take it home.
Our love of the ether can is a very good love, but when you get into this level, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's not like how many sprays of ether, it's how many cans of ether did you give it?
You get one of them started in the winter?
I don't think you could. My 7.3 doesn't like to start in the winter, so by golly. And the reason why, you asked why they have to run ether. So because of the amount of boost that these things run, the compression ratio is extremely low for what a diesel engine actually needs. So until there's heat built up into the engine literally doesn't make enough compression to run the engine on its own. So the ether helps get things fired up and running, because ether will combust a lot lower, which is why when you give, your old diesel won't start, and you give her extra chutes of the ether can, and then the diesel engine rewards you with a hole in the side of the block. It combusts at a very lower temperature, which allows it to get started and warmed up. So usually they're already warmed up by the time they come up here. But here comes Bill, beautiful tractor.
You got point leading thus far.
Yes.
In ECI.
He's got to get past, to improve on that lead, he's got to go past that 319 number that we just saw from Bryce Rickles. Every point, every place he can get ahead of Bryce, he's got to extend that lead out. And again, it all comes down to tomorrow night, Rockwell, Iowa. 6 o'clock starting time, 2 sleds, all the ECI classes, plus modified 4-wheel drives. They're going to have a pile of them in there. We'll have a pile of super modified 2-wheel drives. Absolutely great time to come out and enjoy some ECI bowling as we crown champions tomorrow night in Rockwell, just an hour down the road.
Well, we know the winner tonight in our 4-1 class will be John Deere. Will it be Bill Fingenbaum, or will it be Keith Seidler out of Western Iowa? Last hook up here in our 4-1 Limited Pros. Next class up, 9,300 pound Super Farm tractors. 3 classes left to go after this.
All right, you local fans, give him a hand. He's going to come down. Last hook of the class right here.
340.97, 340.97 for Bill Figamom to end off our 4-1 class.
Kramer out of Tripoli, Iowa goes 338.43. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for our 4.1 Polars. We having some fun out there tonight, beer tent. We having fun out there? You popular or whatever and enjoying the beer tent? All right. Gotta walk back here.
All right. All right, we're going to draw 50-50. Mr. Tony Funk, tell me what you got.
Okay, so we've got $1,030, so the winner's going to take home $550. So, love the lady up here going to draw a ticket.
All right, Nicky's going to draw. And I'll have voice of the Wapsie Sportsman read off the ticket number.
If you have a red ticket, you're out. It is an orange ticket, 735914. 735914. If you won, meet us at the bottom of the announcer's stand. And you need the prices right running. You should be excited. So if you win this thing, we need to notice. You need to make some noise and get excited. Just don't fall down the stairs. So get excited. Do we have a winner?
We have somebody coming up.
Looks like it. I don't hear excitement.
There's
More excitement. There we go. There we go. All right.
Who do we got? All right. Coming up.
Next class is another good class. 9300 Super Farm Tractors. Now, when we say 9300, the funny part about it is, according to our rule book, none of these tractors actually weigh 9,300 pounds. If you go by the ECIPA rules, you can weigh 9,400 pounds. If you go by the outlaw rules, you can weigh 9,000 pounds. And if you go by the PPL rules, Pro Poultry League rules, you can weigh 9,200 pounds. Basically, all these different sanctioning bodies have different rules on turbos, tires, etc., etc. And instead of trying to make it where you can only pull with one group, this allows guys to come in, pull with ECI, and go back when they're over in their area, go back, pull with PPL, pull with the outlaw, or just pull with NCPA, and the weights kind of
Jensen, he had a winner there. I tell you what, give the Tripoli firemen a hand there that is walking around there. Oh, give your team up a hand. I appreciate the donation. I'm a fireman right here. 40 years here. Old.
Brad Jensen's going to be up first out of Mitchell, Iowa. He's in the Rhino Reloaded IH 1066. They got two tractors. They got the Rhino Reloaded and the Rhino. They've only made about 3 passes per tractor. Had a little bit of engine issues. So we're glad to see them. They got these things back together. They said they're going to be making the full weekend party with us, the 2-day show.
Jeff Ritz leading in.
Imagine that.
Mason 6, Ken Vinny in 5th.
After the 2 Hot 2 Farms, last class, Matt Produce is going to go down the track. Which is 3 old truck.
All right, here we go. So we have not seen any of the Jensen brothers, Jensen's run at all this year with us so far. I guess I had the estimate.
Here we go, 9,300-pound Super Farm tractors.
Brought them both out here to Tripoli, Iowa. Put on a show for you guys. You guys having some fun on a Friday night? Absolutely blast. A great way to kind of finish out summer. I know.
First hook up out of Mitchell, Iowa on IH 1066. This is Brad Jensen. He calls his tractor Rhino Reloaded.
So, great way to kind of finish out the summer before we don't have to go back to the fun in the sun. My wife's a teacher, so she's been in all week this week, just having a blast. Somehow she let me go for the weekend to go truck and tractor bowling. I think she mostly wanted to get my shenanigans out of the house. We'll get them all squared away. We want to make sure the tractor is pointing dead straight off of the sled. Any kind of beacon there when they let that clutch out. What about? These things are making about 2,000 horsepower, so just a little off those 4 months. We want to make sure we have it nice and straight. So we're going to go ahead and unhook him, get him kind of squared up a little bit better now. And they got someone driving up or directing them in the front there because they really can't see behind them when they've got the cage going, they got the 5-bar harness on, they got the helmet, they got the neck brace, all the safety equipment that we require, so make sure everything is safe. We talked about some of their safety devices. These tractors also, now they run a guillotine on the front of the turbo. On the exit side of the turbo, they have to run either cross bolts or it's a Wilmer style clamp that's got the cross bolts in it. So if a turbo decides to exit the chat early, it will be captured before it goes under the escape plan. Here we go, folks. Super fun, Rhino Reloaded.
308 and 77, 308.77 for Brad Jensen to start off our Super Farm tractor class.
That would be my grandpa, but on my mom's side, so they have the same last name. But I do joke around that my wife had a difficult name to spell, so the one reason we got married is so that way I can at least spell her last name. .308.77 was your first bowler's distance in this class. Don't forget, presenting sponsor, Champion C.
Next up, Upworth, Iowa, Troy Heiderscheit, IH1066 calls no problem.
So what goes into Champion C? All the best traits, because we only champion the best. Visit plantchampion.com to learn more and find your local dealer. All right, the no problem. IH1066 is up on the sled. Here we go, rock and roll. Trying to run down 308.77.
329.86, 329.86 for Troy Heiderscheit.
On the Ultimate Deception, it's an IH 3688.
Packed over there.
Been running with us pretty good this year. Had a little medical issue last year, so didn't make it out. Tried to make the full.
This should have been a whole beer tent here and a whole
which
beer
in the
tent
Super
there.
Farm class is a really good way to end up near the top of the leaderboard for the end of the year. Now it's a pretty tight battle for the win. Folks, we talked about him earlier. We got some Oliver fans in the crowd. We do have an Oliver tractor coming up next. So Oliver fans, get ready. Here's one for us.
Next up on 88 Series IH, Dennis Stone King, the Ultimate Deception.
Back in
Keeps it together.
the 88 series, starting to come along in the collector market. The last of the Rock Island
Anywhere from about that 10 foot all the way up to about 7.
Currently now
I can feel when I'm backing up on the floor.
Good use of that land.
Tire sinking.
Oh, we got some hat waters over there.
We got to go through that.
Catching hats. Oh, there's
Probably
the
the
throw.
best. Put it that way. I say it
Randy
that
was
way.
a professional disc golfer. That's why he's got the weight down so well. Look at the form in the throw. And he's out of hats.
A pass. I was wondering why they do a pass.
All right, we'll get him backed up again. Super contract is about 2,000 horsepower. Variety of weights depending on what wind set we're going off of. We actually, it's going to be pretty fun here. We got one of our ECI hot
I could have said coming after the class, at the end of the night, no problem. But not.
2,000. John Benzick is the name of the driver. He's at a New Prague, Minnesota. Oliver fans, here we go. Here's our one chance in this class. Make sure the right color green goes into the winner's circle. Absolutely beautiful. Checkerboard. Oliver
Yeah, they
tractor.
call me every once in a great while. They haven't called me for a long time.
I was
Probably 6, 7
disagreeing
years.
that way.
They always got iron anchor there.
Banker
Don't
might
they,
say
or-
differently.
Lowry.
290 and some change, 290 and some change for the Ultimate Deception. Up next out of Minnesota, the Wasted Wages, Oliver, John Benzick.
Yours.
somebody got in trouble.
But, you know, I got to make sure we have a spare
They had
part.
a
So I
kid
might
that
as
was
well have
sitting
one
there,
myself.
and
You know,
they didn't have a
make
seat
sure
for him,
the
and he
spare
fell
parts
off and
aren't
hit his
wearing out,
face
I guess
right in the
would be the
windshield.
term.
Yep,
Well, you do,
and
guys.
he got
Keep
hurt
your
on
wife
the
from
deal,
pulling
so they got
tractors, and
sued
you
on
can
the
have one
deal,
too.
so they all
Here we
let
go.
us know
Waste the
that.
wages.
All
Oliver
the
fans,
sled
make some
operators
noise. Here's
will
our
let you have
chance.
a seat
You've
available
got
with
Kyle
seat
or
belt, and you got to be over 16.
Omaha.
I know that, but I don't have a seat belt.
321.77, 321.77 for John Benzik.
Tim decided did a couple of different changes, made a little more RPM out of it. He said he's spinning about 3,800. We'll see what he can do. But again, folks, this is not normally a super farm. This is what they normally would call the hot farm.
Next tractor up, Tim Borwald, Scotch Grove, Iowa, the Barnyard Buick, Farmall 450. This is a hot 3,000 RPM hot farm. Put some bigger tires on, open the governor up a little bit. Gunner on the super farms tonight.
Yeah, I spent most of my time out at Long.
Excuse me, he's still got the skinny tires on, but he's going to run the class, see what he can do. He's got an intercooler, 466 cubic inches.
Talked about doing some changes on the winter. Thought, you know what, might as well throw it in the super farm class, see what he can do.
This is what they call the backyard.
Barnyard unit, barnyard. Clearly a different area of the yard.
Wow, I tell you what, that guy snatched right up.
What
329 and 33, 329.33 for Tim Borwald. Very good hook.
talent here.
You bet. All the way. Mr. West, let's hear the east side. Wow. All right, Wes, wake up over there. Mickey says east again, but watch this. I'm going to fake you all out. Ready? 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 I still got a couple.
Next up on John Deere 5020 out of Maynard, Iowa, Readlyn, called tractor Shake and Bake.
Moms take the kids over there. They'll look very classy at school. Absolutely. Show off.
Oh, the ECI moved back in school. Ray Tellen comes on up, John Deere 5010 Super Farm. Kind of built closer to the outlaw rules, so he's going to be weighing the 9,000 pounds.
All right, Mr. Ray Tellen. Dennis, where are you? I know he's seen you over there. You got orange on. He wasn't too far away. I'm not surprised he ain't driving tonight. He's got bibs too. Speaking of bibs, if you ever want to see a good show, my friend up here, he does good videos. Go to bibs.com. You can watch all the pull action from any pull through ECI.
.313 and 53, 313.53 for Readlyn.
.1s, a little bit wilder of a passing, I'm sure.
Oh, you bet. Hey, I got 2 t-shirts left. Let's hear it for the west side. Wow. All right, east side. Oh, yeah, I tell you what, you guys got to wet your tonsil or something over there. All right, got one left. We'll do that. All right, now I'm going to be fair. All right, medium. All right, I'm going to medium. Here's what you're going to give me now. 100 now, we go 125. 125, now we go 150. That's all I got. Sound like Mike Walters on 105.7. All I got. All right.
Up next, last number. Ryan Jensen's up next. In the Rhino, it looks very familiar in that first tractor.
Next up is our last truck on a Super Farm class. Ryan Jensen out of Osage, Iowa, IH1066. He calls the Rhino. Our next class up would be 8,500 pound limited pro stock tractors.
The egg and the chicken situation, but I believe it's easy. I believe it was the Reloaded would be second. It'd be a tough sell. They'd be like, this is the Rhino Reloaded. My second tractor's the Rhino.
What comes first, the egg or the chicken? What do you think?
Listen, we've been fighting over this for years, and I don't even think the internet's big enough for that argument. And my little brain the smoke starts to roll out of the ears if I try and think about that question too much.
I noticed you were smoking out of your ears.
I don't know. It's the brain, yes, it's the size of a chicken brain, yes. Here we go, folks. Last Super Farm trying to run down current leader of Troy Henderson out of 329.86. Here we go.
3:17.65, 3:17.65 for Ryan Jensen.
Combo tractor. After witnessing the impressive power of diesel engines, George was hooked and decided to switch from building race cars to building tractor pulling parts. Many years later, Atlas Tractor is still a family-owned, customer-focused business that continues to improve robotics and design. And we are also constantly looking for the most new products. Many different applications for innovation and design and service at the best value. Visit www.atlastractor.com. Doing a little sled set mechanics and one of the wave off from the lighter tractor. First in the class is going to be our test hook. Robbie Carruthers out of Alburnett, Iowa. In the colorblind tonight, 1066. They call it the colorblind because they farm with John Deere, but they play with the I-8.
Hey folks, there you have fun tonight. Hope you give a big round for the Tripoli Readlyn boys that helped put this on tonight, along with the ECIPA. Hope you're all having a good time. And if you are, please go to Rockwell tomorrow night for another great show.
Absolutely, it's going to be a good time. Party starts at 6 o'clock, but we can see the road kicked off at 11 a.m. 70-year-old single cylinder of Polish my workplace where I work. Quite impressive. So I mean, you got those single cylinders out there. I'm not sure if you're running their single stock class, but you can have a single cylinder bowler at well north of 85 horsepower at 8,500 RPM.
They just screaming out this
So when they're in the dyno room, it can get a little scary. Not as scary as the V-twin pullers that are spinning in the 5-digit range. And you're remembering, did I tighten all the bolts? And sometimes it's easy to remind you that, no, you didn't tighten all of them. Got that one right there. All right, Robbie's going to get this thing backed up. Kind of been an up and down year for him this year.
All right, moving into our 8,500-pound limited pro stock class. First up, a 1066 International called Colorblind out of Alburnett, Iowa. This is Robbie Carruthers.
Down the track, extremely competitive class. I think the points race is only like a 2 or 4 point difference. Our current point leader, we'll see a little bit later.
Reminder, East Central Iowa Pullers Association finishes off their season with the ECI Season Championships tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. on a double track at the Chamber Acres in Rockwell, Iowa, home of the North Iowa Nationals and the Rockwell Lions Club, presented by Mort's Water and Mort's Plumbing and Heating.
Tree trimming back here, apparently.
Follow East Central Iowa Pullers Association as well as Champion Seed on Facebook, and then follow Bipster's Repair Shop on Facebook and YouTube. And also, please like, comment, share, and subscribe Moose's Track Pulling videos on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're here live at Tripoli, Iowa, Truck and Tractor Pull with the East Central Iowa Pullers Association.
So basically, that's 8 positions. Elmer has got to go.
Here we go. Robbie Carruthers, 8,500 limited pro stock.
It's going to be tough. Here we go.
3:18 and 44, 3:18.44 for Rabbit Crothers to start up the class. There are 7 tractors in this class.
Their entire family's been pulling for a lot of years.
Next up, Kyle Sullivan on Manchester, Iowa on a Case IH called Silent Partner Unknown.
All right, here comes absolutely beautiful tractor. Check out the front end on this thing. Randy, they run a lot of these tractors now when the class is allowed. They actually run front suspension. Now, there's a couple of reasons why you want to run front suspension. One, the kind of obvious reason is when your front end comes high off the ground and it comes to slam back down, when you got a little bit of a cushion, it's going to come down a little bit softer and not have quite the jolt, because when you come down hard, it's actually going to unload the rear tires and it's going to cause them to rev up. It's going to cause you to slow down, and it's an all around, you're going to have a bad time. The other thing is it actually allows the weight transfer to just be delayed just a little bit as they come off of the shocks. The tractor will pick up off the shocks, and then the shocks will pick up the tires. And sometimes that little bit of delay, some of these bowlers are talking about that actually means something that's helpful. Here we go, green light. Farther down the track. And that maybe was out tonight.
3:34 and 72, 3:34.72 for Kyle Sullivan.
Mangelson's up next. Now he is. Relationship that never ends well. And when the insurance guy came by to check on me, he said, the original owner was like, let's make it a bowl tractor. So it's been in a few different hands. The Mangelsons have been keepers of the Hercules tractor for quite a few years now. Got it out and about. And Carson kind of ice cream and what he say? He wants to go run the blue polo tractor. He would say, Dad, turn me loose. So that's where the name came from. They've been campaigning this thing for 3 or 4 years with Carson behind the seat, becoming a very skilled wheelman. As they're going to look to make another good pass down here. Currently sitting 3rd in points. Now they're back there a little bit. Things can change. We got about 16 points between 1st and 2nd.
Next tractor up is a 1066 International out of Charlotte, Iowa. Carson Mangelson calls the tractor Turn Me Loose. You may remember this tractor back in the early 2000s. He ran Grand National NCPA Pro Stock.
Tomorrow night.
And he has made it to Louisville before, but now it's an 85 Limited Pro, and Carson's driving. Chris let his son take the wheel.
Getting back up, ready to rock and roll on the slope. Here we go. Get a hook and chain. Turn Me Loose. IH 1466. right.
325 and 63, 325.63 for Carson Mangelson.
He rang the bell for his last. Here comes the Breaking Barriers podcast. Gary's doing a great job. He's getting a lot of the history of the local Iowa pullers.
Next tractor up is an IH 1066 driven by Gary Bontrager of Kelowna, Iowa. Calls it Breaking Barriers. If you want to listen to some old-time podcasts and listen to legends be interviewed, tune into the Breaking Barriers podcast on YouTube and Facebook, and join the Breaking Barriers group on Facebook. Gary takes time out of his winter, go visit with all these old-time legends, hear the stories of how pulling used to be in the past.
Absolutely tearing it up on his 1066. He calls the Breaking Barriers. Current points leader, 16 points in the lead, trying to run down. Well, the second in points still hasn't pulled yet, but trying to get that lead at 334.72. If he can get out ahead of that, that's going to help push in that points lead he has as we go into the championship tomorrow night. Don't forget, speaking of champions, check out PlantChampion.com. We got some of our reps are around here tonight that you want to go and talk to them about what Champion Seed can do for you in the 2026 planting season again. Right now is the time to be planting for 2026. They'll get you ready. They'll come out and see what your ground's like and get you all squared away. All right, Gary Bontrager in the Breaking Barriers.
Next, 321.72, 321.72 for Gary Bontrager.
He's out of Prairie City, Iowa. Here in Tripoli, Iowa, on a beautiful Friday night. We talk about the weather we've had this summer. It was either raining or 3 billion degrees with humidity levels of you just sweated looking outside. At least I did. And to have a beautiful, cool night like this, Randy, we got absolutely blessed with the weather here in Tripoli, Iowa.
You bet. Either it's a good day or rain when we have a pool here.
Next up out of Prairie City, Iowa, on a John Deere 4020, Mark Wiggins, the Demon Deer.
About that, quite a few locals would have went up there, but there's always next year.
fans, here's your chance.
You've got the big turbo on top of the hood there, Kyle.
Yes, it is only John Deere in the class, so John Deere fans, make some noise, cheer him on. Mark Wiggins and the Demon Deere.
The old Traeger grill right on top.
All right, up next, your second in point. Runs out of Readlyn, Iowa. Call it the Fighting HMS. Behind the wheel, sometimes the bike falls behind
309 and 41, 309.41 for Mark Wiggins and the Demon Deere.
Taking a crack at it. Ultimately, he wants, I mean, obviously you want to win, but he's looking, he's got to get anything ahead of third place is going to take away some of the lead
Derek.
from breaking barriers for season. Also, what I like about Elmer is Elmer doesn't need no help backing up. He just turns that neck around. I can't even turn my neck that sharp now.
2 years in a row, Derek.
Elmer's like, I mean, when his first pulling tractor was a horse and buggy, I think.
Fucking balance.
It's true.
I told him it was a tire press. He told me something different.
I've been a
Like, I
steam
think,
engine.
yeah, I knew it was a tire press. Dude.
Of course, I'm not realizing I'm saying this because his helmet off. So
They
smart
don't
move.
understand.
Smart
They
move,
don't have the
Hipster.
power to power through
Wait
it.
till the helmet's
They need
on
the
to
tire
make fun of
press.
it. That's the rule.
Don't
You're just
forget,
a
you can
garden
watch
tractor
everything
guy.
Kyle does on hipster.com. Here's Hipster's Repair Shop. Check it out when you get home. He'll have it ready.
Like 8 tomorrow morning. But at one point I used to work on stuff, and then I filmed
For
something.
Elmer Van Donselaar, the Mighty KSMX. Rose Hill, Iowa.
So,
327.27, 327.27 for Elmer Van Donselaar.
come on out for Rockwell.
Here comes our last tractor in the 85 Limit Pro class out of Keswick, Iowa, IH 1066. Chris Bates, he calls the tractor the Unknown.
Appreciate seeing them coming out for part of our championship weekend.
Drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from.
As we're getting that backed up, Randy, we want to just remind everybody, check out all these great signs we have. We got some of our ECI sponsors. We got some of our local sponsors that you guys have gone out there, your volunteers have gone out there and helped provide this. Without those sponsors, events like this wouldn't happen. Without volunteers to help out behind the scenes and a ton of volunteers helping out, we would not be able to have events. So if you go to any of these locations and you're in there doing business, tell them, hey, thanks for supporting the tractor pull. We really enjoy having ECI coming out on a Friday night and putting on a good show for you. Here we go. Get one free. Bush Light. Now,
281 and 40, 281.40 for Chris Bates, who will end off our 85 Limit Pro class. Next class up is our last class of the night, our 11,000/12,000 pound, 16 mile per hour, 2 active farm tractors.
Go now.
Oh, there's standing room only, Kyle. I see it. Bring your wife along. She can help carry. Put her in her purse.
This guy's got a whole case with her.
Attaboy.
There you go.
Get her done. Get her done.
All right, folks, last class of the night. It's time for a little too hot to farm. They're 11,000 or 12,000 pounds. If you run the cut tires, you get to run 11,000 pounds. If you decide to go with the non-cuts, you get to weigh 12,000 pounds. One with last like that, they are limited to 60 miles an hour. Mr. Dan Hines is the current class leader. And we see him up in the class tonight, obviously. He's got a pretty good lead with this class. There's 13 tractors in the class, which means there's going to be a 26-point shift between first place and last place.
Our cycle's the same. I haven't been buying it.
All right, don't forget factory to get one free for you bet. All right, Kyle's in for 3 now. Get the 4th one up there.
And then I owe you like
You could also be buy 6, get 2 free. The math works. That's nothing to worry about. All right, current leader, Dan Hines.
All right, fans, that'll be it. for the night for the live stream. We got one more class starting to rain. I'm going to shut everything down. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Moose Track Pulling videos. East Central Iowa Pullers Association, Bibsters, Repair Shop, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
Chicken dance coming for you. We got Ray Tell.